Okay, friends, I am back. So as promised, here is the next video. And so what I want to do here is I want to go through with you different elements that you would use in your observation to describe a person to a sketch artist or to someone who is trying to draw somebody. So starting with the head, this is what you want to have description. Heads typically are either round, they can be wider, or more oval shaped. And then the next thing you want to look at is the shape of the chin. So this can be a rounder face with kind of a square chin or jawline. This is more of an oval face with a pointier chin. This is more similar to like my face. And then what you want to move into are the eyes. And eyes are typically either almond shaped or more of just a round eye. Eyes can be either really close set together with a thin eyelid, or they can be wider apart and more circular with a thicker eyelid. You can see that each description creates a completely different look. And then you also don't want to forget the eyeball, which is the circle with the pupil and then whatever shade or color you have. So again, depending on how thin or thick your eyelid is, would maybe depend on how much of the eyeball you would see. So you might just capture part of it, which gives a different expression to the eye. Moving on down to noses. Noses are always a little more challenging, and it's easiest to draw them in a profile or from the side. So someone can have a long, slender nose with kind of a point and maybe tiny little nostrils versus a shorter, rounder nose with big nostrils. And this is just another combination. This is a slightly longer nose that's maybe fatter on the tip with nostrils. And then when you move on down to the lips, you can have thin lips that are really wide set. So that's kind of in relationship to the nose, it's much wider. Or you can have a smaller mouth that fits right under the width of the nose, that has a thick or plump lips. So in the description, if you were being a sketch artist and you were going to do someone was going to describe a person to you, the first thing you want to start with, I'm going to go through a couple of them here, is the shape of the face. That is where you start. So I'm going to start with this one here. And this is kind of looks like an alien. It's more of a longer face with a pointy chin. And then just to give me a starting point, I did a cross, which is not exactly in the middle. It's a little bit lower down. But that just kind of gives you a sense of where the nose and the eyes, the plane that it's going to sit on. So I'm going to give myself a description here of a person with wide set eyes that are almond shape. So if this is my center here, I'm going to do my almond shaped eyes, and I'm going to set them a little bit further apart. I'm going to give them a thin eyelid, and let's say that this person has really bushy, thick eyebrows. So the eyebrows are going to go above. Now, here's the thing in doing a sketch artist is I don't necessarily have to say what the expression of the person was, because I don't really want them to be happy or sad. I just want the look on their face. So eyebrows are often an indication of an emotion, but we just want to get the description now. So this person, I think they need thicker eyebrows. We're just going to give them thick eyebrows. And let's say this person has a long, pointy nose with little nostrils, and they have a small mouth with thick lips. So again, see how I kept the mouth right in proportion in line with the nose. Now, without eyeballs, it looks a little weird. So I'm going to go ahead and add those eyeballs. And now another indicator of describing a person would be where their hairline starts. So you can say that they have a big forehead. I tend to have a larger forehead. I can fit 5 fingers from the top of my forehead to my eyebrows. So you just want to measure whether they have a large forehead or a smaller forehead. This person, I'm going to give them straight hair with bangs, and I'm going to put a little bit lower down. So here are their bangs, but the hairline goes all the way over the head. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in, going around. And then before I go down further, another indicator could be whether they have small ears or ears that stick out. This person I'm just going to give little ears to. And then I'm going to make, again, this person has straight black hair. So this is just a rough drawing of their features. And then the last feature that I'm going to go for is the neck. So their neck can either be long and slender, or it could be wider and thicker. So moving on down to this person, we're going to do a little bit different of description. Let's say this person has more round eyes that are closer together, and they have thicker eyelids. Let's get those eyeballs in sooner. And let's say they have a kind of a shorter, puffier nose, and then really thin, wide lips. Kind of looks like the moon. And then let's say that they had really thin eyebrows, and their ears stick out a bit more. And then let's say this person actually has a really high hairline and a widow's peak. So a widow's peak is something, think of Dracula, where they have a point. That's where the shape of their hairline makes a point. And so let's say that this person has wavier, fluffier hair. So you'd go ahead and add that. And then their neck is maybe wider and thicker compared to this. So do you see how in my description I've described 2 very different people? So if I wanted somebody to be able to find a person, it's really important that you give the features that make up their face. So in the 3rd video, I am going to describe a person to you guys based off of a photograph that I'm looking at, and then I want you to post your drawings, and we're going to see who captures the essence of the person I am describing. All right, guys, have a good afternoon. Talk to you later.